Introduction. Advanced education has in the recent past brought increased learning and teaching styles. The education sector has improved over the past years, making it easier for learners to acquire information through different styles. The learning process depends on one's understanding, as some people are slow learners while others are fast learners. Methods used to teach always vary from one instructor to the other because they have different preferences. This paper, therefore, is aimed at addressing the different learning styles and different teaching styles. To achieve this goal, the paper will be divided into 3 sections, in which the first part will address the different learning styles. The second section will address the different teaching styles, while the last section will be a conclusion of the paper. Learning styles. Learning is a diverse process of conveying information to students, as it involves seeing and hearing, logical reasoning, and visualizing. Students can transform their learning styles as they mature and progress from one education level to the other. How a student learns may depend on the approach taken towards the instructor or a particular subject. However, there are people whose understanding relies on their background, heredity, or environmental demands. There are 3 types of learning styles, which include kinesthetic, visual, and auditory. Some people would prefer the combination of the 3 styles, while others would only pick on 1 or 2 styles. This shows that for one to understand a concept, it will entirely depend on the learning styles used. Looking at each style, kinesthetic style is where an individual has to do something practical to have a clear understanding. Kinesthetic learning requires a student to carry out a physical activity like experiments, acting, or sporting activities. Such learners are in a position to focus on 2 different things at the same time. They can get instructions and at the same time do something physically. An example is in a music class, where an individual can sing and dance at the same time without losing track. Kinesthetic learners are people who can get a concept through realistic examples. These learners must always perform a given task for them to comprehend an idea. One advantage of the kinesthetic style is that learners can always reflect on what their bodies was doing. Learners also have a high hand and eye organization, which makes the learning process easier. This style is efficient because learners can remember what they have done in classrooms or outside class. Visual learning primarily involves what is seen, observed, or a reflection of a given concept. Those who use visual style will normally prefer using materials such as maps, images, and colors. Students who use visual style tend to have a high instinctive path and can simply visualize things. Visual style can benefit learners, especially when teachers use blackboards to demonstrate points or ideas. Contrary to the visual style, auditory learning is where learners depend on what they hear. The auditory style requires learners to be attentive, as they learn best through listening. In class, auditory learners will always pay attention to what lecturers say for them to comprehend. Some get concepts by listening to music, while others can easily understand without any backups. Teaching styles. There are 4 main teaching styles, which include permissive, authoritative, detached, and authoritarian. Permissive teaching entails friendship between instructors and students, as there is no strict discipline. Teachers who use the permissive style normally favor learners and may not take disciplinary measures when students make mistakes. Such teachers can even go to the extent of pleading with students to make them active in class. Authoritative teaching is where a teacher uses orders to instruct learners and involves firm discipline. Although this style is ideal, it may not be easy to teach because learners are not free with their teachers. In other words, learners may find it difficult to approach the instructor. Detached teaching involves teachers who do not care about their learners. Such teachers can teach without caring about the progression of a student's performance. A teacher using the detached method may prefer sitting at the back of the class while they are teaching students. The authoritarian style requires students to obey what their teachers tell them. This kind of teaching may involve a teacher screaming in case the students do not obey instructions. Conclusion. Ultimately, learning and teaching are processes that require both the students and teachers to be committed. Learning styles are essential as they enable students to comprehend concepts much easier. For effective learning, teachers should identify the best teaching styles for the students. Teachers should also be aware that there are students who are fast learners while others are slow learners. StudyCorgi.com has everything you need for successful studies. Writing tools, informative articles, and essay samples. Come check it out.